So 2 hours ago, it's about 8:25. I should say 8:25 a.m. Pacific time, here on this Thursday, February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, and it seems Marvel Studios, Marvel Entertainment, is on a roll so far with a lot of these announcements. First we got the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer on Super Bowl Sunday, along with the teaser telling us about the trailer being online during the Super Bowl. As well as yesterday, they announced via Valentine's Day card done in the 1960s style, which gives us the idea and, pretty much the premise, or not just premise, but error, like timeline as to when the Fantastic Four will come out. They basically, through the Valentine's Day card, done in that style, showed us or announced who the cast was going to be, which I think is going to be a pretty good cast. And now, today, 2 hours ago, about 6:26 a.m. Pacific time, they dropped the trailer for X-Men 97. That's right. X-Men apostrophe 97. And this, basically, in case you guys don't know what X-Men 97 is, it is a continuation. It's not a reboot. It's not a retcon. It is a continuation. Now, you could probably say it's kind of a rebooted continuation, perhaps. Not saying that's true. Or it's a soft retcon continuation. Whatever you want to call it, it is basically a continuation of the original 1990 series. The animation style, basically, it is different. You could tell it's different. But they're trying to emulate the style we got basically throughout the original series run, even up to the changing of animation studios, because in case you guys don't know, Saban was originally a distributor of the X-Men series for a while, and their studio, I think one of the animation studios, was outsourced to do the animation for the series. And then later on, the animation got sourced in-house by Marvel Animation, who was doing their own animated series at that time. They were responsible for the Spider-Man series that they did that ran in junction with X-Men. They even did a crossover in the, I think, second or third season of Spider-Man. It was part of the story arc, which was known as chapters of the Man Spider. It was basically the Man Spider story arc. And basically they crossed over with Spider-Man in a two-parter, and the animation was done by the people that did Spider-Man. So that's why the X-Men, they looked similar in their style, but you could definitely feel it was a lot different. Like you knew it was a different animation studio. It wasn't like a hybrid of, okay, Marvel, you're going to do Spider-Man, Saban, you're going to do X-Men. You could tell there was a difference in the animation style. But it was the same cast and everything, which was really, really cool. But then, later on, Marvel, like I said, started sourcing the animation in-house. And you could definitely see that the animation style and the design of the characters were changing up in a big, big way. I mean, Jubilee wasn't wearing her visor anymore. Her hair was pretty much down, if you will. Kind of like in a crew, I wouldn't say crew cut, but kind of like in one of those like short hair styles. Jean had her hair down like she did in the comics. Beast looked a little bit more humanoid at times, and so on, and so on. And even Storm, I think, had her hair in a ponytail at times. You can definitely tell that they were changing the designs of the characters, and that, animation styles were changing as well. From outhouse to in-house, if you will. But basically, that's what happened behind the scenes. And of course, it ended with one of the probably best episodes I think you can end with, called Graduation Day. And of course, it ends with Charles Xavier dying and everything. And basically, it ends with him mentally, his mind, if you will, being transferred, into Lalandra, who's his love interest in there, into the Shi'ar ship. and probably what I'm assuming would be a new body down the line if they take a page out of the Fox movies, if that's what they're going to do. I'm not saying they will. But yeah, that's how it ends, and it does end with Magneto helping him out. Magneto basically sees this as an opportunity of, hey, Charles was attacked, everybody saw it, now's my opportunity to finally, achieve the dream he wants, until he finds out the truth about Charles, and then he just realizes, this is his closest friend, someone that always, stood by his side despite their differences. And, he does come to his aid, helps him out. And it basically ends there with Magneto standing side by side in this group shot with the X-Men, as, Charles's mind is being taken, taken into space by the Shi'ar and into their realm of the galaxy, which eventually I think he is going to come back. I think we might get some hints of that in the new series. Now, speaking of the new series and Magneto being part of it, the trailer does show at the end, kind of like a post-credit, moment, at the end of the trailer. It does show Magneto reading through a book called The Last Will and Testament of Charles Xavier, and he gives it to the X-Men because they're kind of surprised he's there. He's surprised that he's there and everything, but he gives it to them, and he says, basically, in that book, it says everything that belonged to Charles now belongs to him. And that's going to make things interesting and everything, especially when you look at the conflict, that's going to brew between him and Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops, and maybe even Logan Wolverine. But what I did take away from this trailer, though, is, like I said, the animation they're trying to emulate the animation. It's Marvel animation. So they're trying to emulate what we saw in the original series. I like that. What we do see that's noticeable is Jean Grey is pregnant. That's right, Jean Grey is pregnant. We do know that her and Scott have children. I think they have a daughter, in the comics. So that might be what's alluded to here, that she is pregnant with their daughter. And that there's a good chance her daughter is going to inherit, both of their powers, if not mostly Jean's powers. As described in as it's described in the comics, and mostly inherit perhaps the Phoenix powers. That's what I'm thinking is going to be alluded to in the future. I'm not saying that's going to be showcased in the show, but if she is pregnant and everything, it definitely feels like they're going to not only let us know what gender the child's going to be, which would be a girl, but potentially what powers she might have. They might allude to that. We also see Morph's back on the team, and he's going to have two designs. He's going to have his regular design that we saw, at the end of the show, in the beginning of the show, the original show, that is. But he's also going to have that face, that new Morph face look that they've been promoting, where it's like all white. So that might be that might be something he changes into when he goes into battle and everything, maybe, or something happens perhaps down the line where maybe it's revealed that is his real face, and that the face he's been using has been basically a cover-up, like what we've been seeing in the original show is not his real face, but it's just another disguise to hide what he really looks like. So we got him there. We got Bishop. Bishop is on the team, so obviously I think they might be teasing something between him and Storm. You hear Storm talking. You hear Storm's voice overlaid in this as well, talking about the fact that things are going to be hard and everything, but they have to stick together. They have to be a team. You hear Scott's voice as well before that, talking about how they have to keep Charles's dream alive. And you see one of the big moments in there is you see a casket getting lowered into the ground, and that's obviously Charles's casket with his body in there, and we can assume that he's going to be buried on the property of the school, of the institution, or the institute, I should say, because that's how it's described in some of the adaptations of the franchise, that basically, they lay their dead to rest on the lawn, or in 6 feet under on the lawn, 6 feet under, I should say, on the property of the institute. So that we get that image there, and that's going to speak volumes there, right there. That's going to speak volumes, I should say, right there, because you can definitely tell, and I'll get into this in a moment. This is going to be a continuation, but it's going to be a lot more different in its continuing standpoint. It really is. But like I said, you got the voiceover of Scott in there. You got the voiceover of Storm in there, and everything. You get this little moment where when they're in the Blackbird, and Cyclops is like, we have to stay together. We have to do this as a team. We have to work together as a team. And you have Wolverine, Logan saying, kind of answering back, saying like, well, tell me something more. Not tell me something more, like more like talk. Oh, why don't you talk my head off or something like that? So there's going to still be that issue between those two. You're going to still have a bit of a rivalry there, a bit of a friendly teammate rivalry between the two, because in the original series, and we've seen it in the comics as well, Wolverine, Logan has always had a thing for Jean. It's always had a thing for Jean. Even after she got married to Scott in the original series, he always had a thing for her. He always still cared for her and everything. So obviously, you're still going to get that dynamic there between them. You're still going to get that dynamic between them of a bit of a rivalry, and Logan showing that he still has feelings for Jean, even though she's now pregnant with Scott's kid. So I like that. I like that there. Jubilee's got her old style back. You can definitely tell her ethnicity, her race, if you will, is a little closer to what it's described in the comics than what it was in the show, in the original show, at least towards the end. Towards the end, it was more genuine to what she's described as in the comics. Before that, it was like, nope, she doesn't look she doesn't look Chinese American or anything. She doesn't look that way. But when they got closer to the end of the series and they switched over, like I say, different animation studios, she definitely started to take that, adopt that look a lot more. So she's gonna be a Rogue. Looks the same, so that's really good. And everything. She looks the same and all that, so I like that. Gambit still pretty much looks the same and everything. And I like the fact that one of the moments that we see towards the end of it is Gambit charging up, using his powers, because he has these pyrokinetic powers as he's charging up this power. I don't know what the name of it is, where he charges up his he charges up playing cards and he uses them as weapons, right? So what it looks like he's doing is he's going to charge up, other people on his team's weapons if they need them. So in this case, there's a moment in the trailer where he charges up Wolverine's adamantium claws, and that looks really good. It looks really badass. And there's a lot of other key moments in here. There's Magneto standing, it looks like, in the Senate, on trial or pleading the case or something like that. There's a pyramid-like structure. I don't know if that's going to be like their new headquarters or a secondary headquarters, and it's got statues of both Magneto and Charles, in front of it. So I don't know, like I said, if that's going to be the new headquarters, secondary headquarters. Maybe it's built, in the same area as the mansion. I can't say. But overall, what I got here, my impression of what I got here is we are going to be in for one heck of a ride. Now, it's going to be premiering March 20th, basically a little over a month from now, and I cannot wait. And I can tell you honestly, if you are a true X-Men fan, and I might be doing this myself unless I start work, you need to start binge watching a lot of the X-Men original series. If you got it on DVD, put the DVD in. If you got it on Disney Plus, put it on Disney Plus. But I'm telling you right now, I am looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, what's going to come. because again, one of the story arcs that they're talking about, or they've been promoting, I should say, about this, is you're going to have, like I said earlier, a bit of a internal power struggle, leadership struggle between Magneto and Scott, because you could tell that Scott, Scott Summers, Cyclops, he's not going to trust Magneto. It's like he's probably glad Magneto was there to help, help Charles out in his last moments, to at least get, a signal to Lilandra. But he's not going to trust him fully because of their history. And obviously, he's not going to be alone. You can definitely tell the rest of the team is not going to, be very trustworthy of Magneto. And that the only way Magneto is going to be able to earn their trust is to basically follow and abide by the, by the last wishes of Charles in that book. And if one of those last wishes is, hey, you got to keep my dream alive. You got to, you got to try to, create peace between humans and mutants. That in itself is going to be an interesting story arc for Magnus, if you will, because his real name is Eric Magnus. It's going to be interesting story arc in its own right, because it's going to be a struggle for him, because he's so used to wanting to just wipe out the humans that have been oppressing the mutants, and prove once for all that the only reason humans are afraid of them is because they know mutants are superior because of their powers. So again, that's going to be an interesting story dynamic and arc for his character developing or regression, arc for him. But the one that, like I said, that they've been promoting a lot, basically when it comes to this, is that leadership power struggle between, Cyclops and Magneto, and that trust that Magneto is going to have to earn from the X-Men to show whether or not he's turned over a new leaf, or he's just the same Magneto that, wants to prove mutant superiority. That's going to be an interesting, situation to, pay attention to with this series. There's other story dynamics, obviously, they're going to explore. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. I don't know if this is going to be a weekly series. It's like it's going to be a new episode every week, just like the original series was. Or they're going to just drop all the episodes, at once, for people to binge. I'm not really sure. I know that with, some of the other Marvel shows that they have done, like She-Hulk and WandaVision and Loki, I know that they have done those weekly. I know they've done those weekly. I don't know if they did it, weekly with the recent season of Loki, but I think they did. But I think they did. But if not, then that's on them. But if it is being done weekly, then that would give them enough time to put out enough episodes to get our attention. Now, again, I don't know how many episodes it could be. It could be 6 episodes. It could be 8 episodes. It could be 13. For we know, it could be the traditional 13 episodes that they were known for on Saturday mornings, and that's enough, in my opinion, to tell a full season arc of what needs to happen, because there's going to be a lot that takes place, obviously, in this continuation, that's going to get people talking and coming back for more. Now, I will say there's one thing at the beginning of the trailer that they did put on the advertisement talking about watching the season finale of the original X-Men, as well as showing the moment where Charles says he's proud of all of his X-Men before he passes, if you will, but just before he has his mind transferred to the Shi'ar ship and everything by Lilandra. And I like how it starts out, because what it does is it starts out in what looks like a room. I don't know if it's a living room or a kid's bedroom. And it's basically a shelf. It's like an entertainment shelf with a little TV in there. And you have these little X-Men. You have like an X-Men frame, an X-Men picture frame. And you have I was trying to think of, hold on. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied. It's 8:44, so it's still early for me. I'm still kind of waking up. But like I said, you have this like little entertainment cabinet. You have this TV, and this CRTV, if you will, CRTV. tube TV, if you will. And then, like I said, on the left side, you have this picture of the X-Men in a frame, and then you have this Colossus figure still in its original X-Men figure package on the right. And then, like I said, that's when it shows on the screen, it shows the promotion for the finale, to watch the finale, and then the final moments of the finale, with Charles saying he's proud of all his X-Men, and then you have the group shot. I do like that. I do like that little nostalgic touch there to kind of basically give you the idea of what you're going to be in for. And then they go right into the trailer. They show you it's by Marvel Animation and everything, and then they go right into the trailer, which I really like. And again, as I mentioned, I appreciate the fact that they're trying to emulate the original animation style. I really appreciate that. You do get most, if not all, not all, of the original voice cast back, I should say. You get most, some, if you will, if not all, of them back and everything. Because some members of the VA cast did pass. They did pass away, so they're no longer available. But they did bring in people that do sound very similar, in tone, and it's like you can't tell the difference. You really can't tell the difference of who was the original actor and who's the new actor and all that. So that's what they've done. But yeah, they do have most, if not some, of the original VA back, and because the others have passed on or retired, and they got some new ones in there that pretty much, again, I think are going to do a decent job, because I think you hear some of the voices in the trailer, and it feels like it's the original voices, but it's new VA actors and everything. So really like that. I really like that. But overall, I do recommend checking out this trailer. It's on It's here on YouTube, or on YouTube. I think you'll like it. I can't wait to see. Like I said, I can't wait to see the series. What a way to wake up! And Marvel, promotional wise, like I said, at the beginning, they're on a roll with the Deadpool trailer being released on Super Bowl Sunday. With the cast announcement for the Fantastic Four, which comes out on my birthday next year, 2025. And now with the trailer drop for X-Men 97, X-Men apostrophe 97, debuting next month, March 20th. And again, I'm not sure if it's going to be a weekly deal or all episodes are going to drop. We'll have to see. And again, we don't know what the episode length, like how many episodes we're going to get is going to be. But I cannot wait. And obviously, it's going to be a TV PG show. Maybe, I'm not saying it'll be TV 14, because that'll be like a little too much and everything. But I think it might be TV PG instead of like TV Y7, because, again, you got moments in there that kind of give off those vibes of, this is going to be a TV parental guidance show, if you will. But yeah, I highly recommend checking it out, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. Live chat during the premiere. And until next time, I am out.